own their skills without worrying about fees eating into their profits. The coaches have skin in the game. Join the TopStep community. I wish some had.
Hello, hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Is this going to work or what? Hmm, maybe not. Let me double check here. It does have a delay, so 500 tick, 500 tick chart. We're gonna remove this. What is this? Double check this. Okay. Glad it doesn't have anything. Let me see. Chart. 500 tick chart. Okay. And we're going to add, let's see how it rolls. Let's start really back in the day. It's going to do about 20 minutes. I really like to remove all this shit. Let me see. Maybe I remove this thing. Or maybe I don't have to. Maybe I just have to do this. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Let's see what we got here. Gotta do. Okay. Very good. Okay, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Let's start. for 29th. How many days were there in April? 30 days. Okay. So 2 days before the new April, May. Okay. Excellent. 9:30. This might be 9:30. 6:30. 6:30. So 2 days before the new May clock. Okay. 12 o'clock. 9:30. This might be 9:30. 6:30. 6:30. Uh, 13. So we're gonna start back here. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Okay. Why did you come up here for? Remove. Okay. So let's do 4 o'clock on, what day is this? The 29th, which is 29. Voila, voila. It's Tuesday the 29th. Tuesday the 29th. Which is Tuesday the 20th. 14 right here. 14 right about right here. Oh, wait, I forgot something. I wanted to put something on because it's making me laugh.
Mi gente de TikTok, mi familia. A ver, vamos a unirnos nosotros los latinos. Este hombre, el Trump este que nosotros luchamos para que él fuera el presidente, ahora quiere acabar con los latinos. Ay, 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 por Dios, yo voy a votar por Donald, por Dios. Ay, por Dios, yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. Mi gente sale a votar sin miedo a la calle. Mi gente linda y querida, no nos preocupemos tanto por el inglés, porque al final, que sea lo que Dios quiera.
President Trump signed an executive order on Monday that requires commercial truck drivers in the United States to be proficient in English. This comes just weeks after a video of a truck driver went viral after he was given a literacy test.
I know that there are a lot of Cuban, specifically truck drivers in South Florida, that are affected by this. What bothers me the most is that they all voted for him, right? But now they're all over the interwebs whining and crying about how could you...
Right here.
Because they are directly being affected. It was okay when whatever Donald Trump was going to do affected someone else.
They voted for Trump, and now they're failing the English test and losing jobs and acting surprised. This is what they asked for. Trump's new English proficiency law is hitting Latino truck drivers really, really hard. They backed him with a plight, and now they're begging for help. Like the video if you get this interesting, and please don't forget to subscribe, and please share to everyone you know and you need to hear this. Going to the video.
To every truck driver across the country in the United States of America, it's official. Starting June 2025, every truck driver that has a CDL in the United States of America must be able to speak the English language, write the English language, and read the English language, starting in June. Now, a lot of people will ask the question, how does a semi-truck driver not know how to speak or read the English language? How do they drive? Well, here's the thing, right? In our country, there's so many schools that will cater to every language out there. It makes it easier for you to get your CDL, right? Now, what happens is in June, once you get pulled over and you're not able to communicate with the law officials, they will put you out of service. And the next step is you will have to contact the company you work for, and they will have to send somebody out to pick up the truck that also obviously has to speak and read and understand the English language. Now, you still have time to learn, right? It's going to be a little bit difficult because obviously a lot of people thought it's just something in the news, but it's the law now. You must be able to read and write and understand the English language. 20% of accidents that happen in our country with semi-truck drivers is the signs. They cannot read and comprehend the signs. And you ask yourself, what do you mean? How do they go back and forth? Well, there's something called the GPS. It tells them to turn left, they're going to turn left. If it tells them to turn right, they're going to turn right. What about when they get to shippers? How do they go? Well, it's really difficult, right? They'll show them the bill of sale, bill of BOL, delivery, and they back and forth until they get it, right? Some distribution centers get irritated by some drivers that do not comprehend, communicate with each other, right? So this will change the whole outlook of the trucking industry. Some say it's good, some say it's bad, but there's a lot of different kind of demographic of people in our country, in the United States of America, that drive semi trucks. So yeah, so you still got time to comprehend and understand it. God bless every truck driver.
Trump signed that paper with their support. He didn't hide it. Project 2025, mass deportation plans, it was all there. Now the people cheering in Spanish at his rallies are facing the English exams they can't pass. It's not discrimination, they just got played.
Crooked Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats are turning the United States into communist Cuba. And you know, because we have a lot of great Cubans here. We have some great Cubans here. And nobody ever did more for Americans who love Cuba than a gentleman named Donald J. Trump when he was president. He had it going beautifully. You were going to be taking it over very quickly. And then they blew it.
I saw a video of a Cuban guy who voted for Trump who is now crying on the internet. He's a trucker, and now truckers are required to speak English, right? And this guy, he voted for Trump. He made it very public that he voted for Trump. He doesn't speak a lick of English, no English whatsoever. So now he's mad. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Trump? Like, I've been in this country for 20 plus years and I've never needed English and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking, okay, first of all, you've been here 20 plus years. Anyone that has been in this country for 20 plus years is required to speak English. I don't give a fuck. On top of that, you voted for him though. And this goes for all of those Cuban people, because Cubans were so loud and obnoxious about Cubans for Trump. Cubans for Trump. I unfollowed this obnoxious influencer girl who quite literally was an illegal, but of course married a white guy. And all of a sudden, just all about, I'm a conservative woman, I voted for Trump, blah, 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 blah. Like, girl, like, please, be for reals. And so Cubans were so loud about voting for him, and it's just, I don't even think it's funny anymore. Now it's just like, seeing all of these people who voted for him getting slapped in the fucking face, it's just, I can't even say it's funny anymore. Like, it's like, hello, we knew this was happening. We knew this was gonna happen. So anyways, karma is real. What have I been telling you guys? Karma is real. And every single person who voted for that man and is now crying about it is getting their karma. And we don't feel bad for you. We don't feel bad for you. Learn English.
Can we stop acting like we didn't know what the current president was going to do before he became president? Can we stop acting shocked at the things he's done so far as if we didn't know that he was going to do? For the sake of this video, I am speaking specifically about the new federal law and mandate that commercial truck drivers speak and write English. My father was a truck driver all of his working life, and my son now owns his own trucking company. I know how difficult the work is. And while they both speak and write English perfectly, I know that there are a lot of Cuban, specifically truck drivers in South Florida, that are affected by this. What bothers me the most is that they all voted for him, right? But now they're all over the interwebs whining and crying about how could you, because they are directly being affected. It was okay when whatever Donald Trump was going to do affected someone else. We all knew that he was going to target Latinos and Hispanics specifically. The world has known for decades that Donald Trump is a racist, a homophobe, a xenophobe, a liar, a cheater, a womanizer with questionable ethics and morals. It's no secret. His friendships are with men like Epstein, that we all know sex trafficked young girls, and men and women that are known to be white supremacists. Why is his racism towards Latinos and Hispanics now a shock? He is a twice impeached, 34-count convicted felon that you voted into office, which makes your ethics and morals questionable. He is unethical in his personal life and his business life, and he hasn't even hidden it from us. He has let us know time and time again that he hates Latinos, he hates Hispanics, he hates people of color. He only loves the powerful, the rich, the white, who have something that he can manipulate to benefit from. How people do not see and acknowledge exactly what is in front of their faces is mind-boggling. Every executive order, every mandate, every law that he signs ensures and confirms who he is and what he believes. Stop whining about it now. Take accountability. Suck it up. You made your bed. Freaking lie in it and shut up. This is proof that karma exists. When you get joy or are indifferent to someone else's suffering, life is going to kick you in the balls. It's going to kick you when you're down. You will get back what you put out. Karma at its best. What?
What's that? It's a yellow car. Vroom, vroom, beep, beep. We're going to have so much fun. Water. W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me?
This feels like a satire, but it's not. They were chanting USA at the Trump rallies. I think you saw the video. And now they're out there buying alphabet books like it's a kindergarten. This is what happens when people vote for white nationalism, thinking there will be exceptions. But nobody's safe when the goal is exclusion, right?
Couldn't believe it. Going through Arkansas, I thought it was a joke. Got stopped at the weigh station in Arkansas and was handed a piece of paper. It says, "Can you read and write English?" I said, "Yes, sir, I sure can." He goes, "Can you read this?" So I read it to myself, and I was like, "Okay." I started handing it back. He goes, "No, read it out loud for me." So I read it out loud for him, and it's short and sweet, no problem. He goes, "Now, can you write this for me on this paper?" And I did, and there was a whole bunch of people that had already written on it. And I was actually witnessing people in handcuffs that had been pulled in, and I was like, "What's going on?" He goes, "Oh, we've come across now that if you cannot read or write in English, that it's a $5,000 fine, and if you have a company in Arkansas that employs people that can't read or write in English, it's a $10,000 fine paid on the spot. If you cannot pay it, you're automatically arrested and lose your license." What a shocker.
If you don't speak English, nobody wants you driving a truck. That is the sentiment from a lot of truck drivers. That's what the law says. It's not a new law. It's a law from the 1930s. It's just being enforced right now. But I'm Latino, firstborn American. This is what I think about that. And look, first of all, I got to say that I do feel bad for all the people that invested so much, are not stealing from anybody. They're just going out there and working, providing for their family. I'm not happy that this is happening to them or anything like that. On the other hand, the law is the law, right? I mean, before you got into this, you knew that you couldn't be you couldn't be operating that way. You understood that you needed to speak English in order. It was part of the law. In order to operate and to do this job, you needed to do that. And I don't want to hear that, "Oh, I've been doing this job for 20 years, I don't speak English, and it's not a problem for me." It is a problem. You just don't care about it. But it is a problem from other people around. I have seen it firsthand many times. When I see somebody that doesn't speak English, I have no problem going and helping that person out. I'm not an asshole. I'm going to help you out. But you are making a problem for everyone else around you, all right? Because you can't understand the situation. You can't communicate properly. And look, man, it is what it is. If I go to Germany, I have to learn German, dude. And if you just got here and you're learning the language, it's totally fine. We get it. It's totally okay. And look, I was born here, and I still have an accent because I'm from Miami. It doesn't matter if you have an accent. I'm an accent. It doesn't matter if you can't speak absolutely perfectly. Let's say, for example, like, "Hey, this is my load over here," and you say, "Hey, this is my load over here." Everybody gets it. It's totally fine. That's not what we're saying. We're talking about the people that just have no idea, the people that have been living here for 5, 10, 20 fucking years, and you still don't speak the language? No, I'm sorry, but there's a word in Spanish for that, and that is descarado. And that's pretty much, you're shameless. You just don't care. You didn't put the effort to learn a new language. And for those people, I do not feel sorry for, man. It's kind of like those people that drive drunk. Like, they say, "Oh, no, it's fine. I drive this fine." Dude, you know you're not supposed to do that. You know you can get in trouble, and you know that you might affect other people. You might do it perfectly, but you might affect other people, right? And then they get caught, and then they want to play victim when they get caught. And they're like, "Dude, I told you for years that you couldn't be doing this, and you did it anyways." And now look what happened. Now you can't play the victim now. Again, I don't want anything bad to happen to these people. I wish that they can go ahead and learn so that they can go ahead and keep working, because they're not stealing from anybody. They're just fucking working. I totally get it. But you knew the rules. You did it anyways. You didn't put the effort in it, and then this is what you get, man. And that's what I think about it. I mean, I'm totally for it. I've seen how it negatively affects everyone around you, and that's just the language part. Let's not even talk about the culture part, which is a huge part of this issue as well, that is not being talked about enough, in my opinion.
Look, there is truth in what the last guy said. Knowing English helps in the United States of America, but that's not what the policy is about. This is about targeting immigrants, even the ones who supported Trump. If they didn't see this coming, that's on them then, right? Yeah, so hit the like button if you find this interesting, and please subscribe so you will get every video we upload, and comment down below what's your thought on those trackers, those mother trackers. Yeah, and share to everyone who needs to hear this. Bye-bye, see you to the next one. Wish you love and blessings.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Large Man Abroad. Let's have a freaking talk, yeah? The truth is your job doesn't care about you. Your boss doesn't care about you. And right now in 2025, what we're really seeing is just how much they don't care about you. The amount of layoffs that are happening right now really aren't justified. Companies are preparing for what is to come, but at the same time, the kind of soulless HR corporate speak that's involved in the layoff process, the firing process, because let's call it what it is. A layoff is just simply a nice, cold, safe HR word. You're being fired. You're being let go. It is what it is. It all ends in the same thing. And let's stop with the cavalcade of HR bullshit that lets this kind of stuff be normalized, because it's hurting people out there. Look at this.
Within like a case like this, I feel like it is hard because I wish I was given the chance to show how dedicated I am to this position, because I love it and I get that there can be a miscommunication, especially being remote. But I mean, I've loved my job. I've represented it to the best of my ability. I have so many great relationships within the Walmarts in Dallas, and I know that'll be hard that they won't see my face because, you know, I text them, I call them, we're really cool. And I feel like moving forward
Honestly, being nice and friendly while you're being fired is a very toxic thing that people need to stop doing. I mean, let's be completely honest. The layoffs that are happening right now have nothing to do with your performance. It's just random. Who can we get rid of? Who can we get rid of and it's not going to change much? We'll be able to save somebody. Her? Yeah, get rid of her. You don't need to be nice, and you shouldn't be nice. Be angry, be aggressive, because what's happening to you right now is unjust, and it's happening to millions of people across America who are suffering silently, who are sacrificing silently for the consequences of one person's actions. That's all this is. Millions of people suffering because of one person or one party, but people are suffering, and that's all that really matters. So don't be nice about it, because these people don't care.
the other people on the team, I think they deserve some one-on-one meetings and maybe more expectations set so that they don't overthink and they feel more comfortable within their position.
I promise that I appreciate all you've done. We'll have to probably end the call here, but please reach out to Amanda, probably your best contact, or bring that information. She'll probably send over a note to you later today with kind of all the details. So, thanks, guys.
Anderson, ¿es que se llama él? ¿Hermano? Sí. ¿El que está aquí? No, él es Anderson.
Like I said, cold, heartless, corporate HR. That's all that is. This devastates people. Look at this woman. Absolutely devastated. These aren't just teenagers having a summer job. These are adults, people who pay taxes, people who have lives, people who have kids, people who have homes and mortgages, people who have everything to lose. And just like that, millions of them around the country right now are having their lives be imploded. And they're asked to do it silently. They're asked to take that firing with a smile on their face because you don't want to upset the corporation. We're just doing our job here. That sounds familiar. If they're doing this over Zoom meetings because they're too much of a coward to do this to your face, don't take it. Tell them what's on your mind. Why not? Because this person on the other side of the phone, what they're going to do is they're going to stand up, have a little bit of a stretch, look at their golf clubs in the corner of the office, and then they're going to open their phone and they're going to look up if there's a spot open so they can work in the back 9 after work. They don't care about you. No one in these corporations actually cares about you. And the funny thing is, once you're fired, once enough people are fired, the next people to go is the HR department, because you don't need them once everyone's fired. In World War II, they would call them collaborators. They're just corporate collaborators. That's what they are. HR. You just the most despicable, like the most despicable happy people on earth. You just want to do away with them. You just want them gone. If anyone should lose their jobs, it's usually HR. They should go. Because this has broken this woman. And it's hard to watch. But like I said, millions of people are going through that right now.
The way that things have been going lately, I have a feeling this is going to be like record-breaking data, even within just the next few months. So Joann's was one, but that's not a surprise because they're closing all of their stores. Walgreens, Intel, FedEx, Neiman Marcus, John Deere, Macy's. Macy's just closed 66 stores, but they're looking to close at least 150 this year. Saw something else about Forever 21 closing their corporate headquarters and laying off hundreds and hundreds of people. Estee Lauder, Starbucks, Kohl's, Walmart all have layoffs in the works. And as we have noticed, the theme of this year is if this doesn't directly affect me, then I don't care. Just because maybe this is not you being laid off, this kind of thing tends to have a snowball effect. So while these companies are laying off people, those people have less spending power. 100 companies laying off hundreds of employees is a lot of money that's not going to be being spent in the economy. If I listed one of your companies, or if you guys are panicking, if you feel like your job might be affected by any of this, or the snowball effect that is likely going to come from this, one of the things that I tell everybody to always do, because the job market is so different than the way that it used to be, a lot of the traditional advice doesn't work anymore, is go into your contacts in your phone, all your contacts on your Facebook, all your contacts on your Instagram, every person that you can reach out to and get in touch with, humble yourself, send out a message to them, a personal message, something a little heartfelt. So just let them know that you are looking for work, you're looking for anything, you're looking for something to put bread on the table and pay the bills. Most people that I know that have gotten a job within the last couple of years, that have been looking for a job for quite some time, 6 months plus to a year, 2 years, they got jobs because of somebody that they know. I'm telling you guys, use this tactic. It absolutely works. And also, don't sit and wait. Start getting your resume out there. Start applying for jobs, because if this comes for you, you want to be ready.
Yeah, you have to be ready. So like I said, hundreds of big businesses. Now, honestly, who this is going to hit the most is brick and mortar stores who've already been on their way out because of Temu, because of Amazon. And with the collapse of Amazon and the supply chain, more people from the warehouses are going to be fired. So that's everybody. Everybody in America. Really, your job is up for grabs right now. Your livelihood is on the chopping block. Are you worried? No, you're an idiot. Everyone should be worried. This is getting insane. And are there consequences by the people who are actually putting policies up there that are forcing this to happen? No consequence. In fact, they're getting pats on the back from their supporters saying that, hey, this is a good thing. Maybe you should have just went into the trades. Well, guess what, tradesmen, blue-collar workers? It's a nice, stable job. It's a nice, stable, respectable job to be a craftsman. But at the same time, be careful who you laugh at, because the same people that you expect to do services on and then pay you, they're not going to be able to pay you anymore. That's the reality of all this. It's all one, like she said, one big snowball effect, right? One thing leading to another. Dominoes, whatever you want to use. It's all one big pile of shit. That's all that it is. And we're all head deep in that shit. And if you're not head deep in it right now, then guess what? You're in line to put your head in next because everyone's getting a taste. And again, yeah, like she said, call people. You know people. If you have friends, if you have family, go ahead and reach out to them. Even if you think your job's safe, just see what's out there. Get your resume ready. Because in case you didn't know, the application system has changed, and corporations are taking advantage of it by putting ads out there and having people apply, then using their information and data and selling that off. So corporations are actually still profiting off of these layoffs. I mean, if you're not angry about it, if you're not upset, then you're complicit and you have a problem. Because this is wrong on so many levels. But yes, reach out and get jobs. Everyone needs jobs. Jobs suck. We hate them, right? They're a waste of time. But at the same time, you have to pay for your mortgage. You have to make sure your kids are fed. And it looks like small business is off the table for the foreseeable future because no one can actually afford to build businesses in America now. Not when you can only use American products. The golden days of global manufacturing are out the window for some reason, and the American people are paying for it. So you can't start a business. You're probably going to lose your job. And when you get fired, it's going to be over a Zoom call from some a-hole from HR. And guess what? When you try to get government assistance because you just got fired because of all the decisions the government made, there's restrictions on that now. So you're just supposed to be homeless at this point. That's the goal. Disenfranchise, disempower, and disable the American economy. Disable the American worker, the working class, the working poor. They are the ones suffering. We are the ones suffering from this. And zero accountability. Hey, you know what? It's just, there's a little bit of pain right now, guys. And we all just kind of go through this. Focus on your job. You have to make yourself as valuable as possible so you won't get fired, right? Be the best worker there. You know, follow all the rules. Do what your boss tells you. Don't question things. Yeah, but that doesn't even matter because they don't even care if you're qualified or not. It doesn't matter if you're the best worker. You can still get fired like that because it's about companies saving money. The thing is, are you replaceable? Because very few people aren't replaceable. And for those who are, hey, be nice because a lot of people are suffering right now. This is bad time. Listen, man, calm down. You're just getting too excited here.
When a company does layoffs, leadership gets into a room, and the majority of the time, they ask the question, how can we reduce costs with the least operational damage? They're not necessarily asking who is the underperformers. They're asking who can we get rid of and not really notice that we got rid of them. I see a lot of people who were blindsided by layoffs because they were good at their job. The problem is that the company didn't really need them to be doing that job. So if you're looking at your situation and trying to evaluate your job security, don't ask yourself, how well am I doing at my job? Ask yourself, if I quit tomorrow, how much pain would these people be in?
Yes, the pain. And the pain they should feel. Like I said, it doesn't matter how qualified you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been with the company. Listen, you could have been there for 1 year, 1 week. You could have been there for 10 years, decades. Your pension, your retirement could be just right there, right? A couple years away, and you're going to be in the Philippines, you know? But no, all of a sudden, gone, just like that. Hey, guess what? Better brush up on that resume. I know you've been with us for 20, 25 years, but guess what? It's time for you to get a new job. And you know what? Best wishes, and we appreciate the service that you've given us here at this corporation. But, you know, fair winds, my friend, fair winds.
From Washington, D.C., as from somebody I'd never met before, it said that my performance had failed to demonstrate that my continued employment was in the public interest and that I needed to return my government equipment in the morning. But when I got that email and I went to work the next day, I didn't turn in my computer and stop working. I kept working. I kept working because there had been no transition of authority. There's no transfer of duties. I had projects that I was still working on. I was actively working on. And if I were to walk away right then, our veterans would be in jeopardy. That's what we do as public servants. We don't care about the money. We care about the mission. The government doesn't belong to one party or one administration. It belongs to the American people, especially those who have served it and those who are supporting it. And when leadership lies on official documents to sidestep the laws and cut corners, it doesn't just cost people their jobs, but it erodes the integrity of our institutions.
There's no integrity in our institutions anymore. None at all. I mean, don't expect any kind of fair treatment or honorable action or consideration to come from the government. I mean, what a strange thing to even assume is going to happen. It used to be that a government job was the safest job that you can have. But now, if you work for the government, you're one of the most vulnerable people out there because number one, your pay is not very good, and you're relying on the fact that you're going to get a nice government pension someday, which is really nice. But like I said, you know, hey, fair winds, fair winds.
We receive no mental health support, no resources to cope with the trauma of being fired without cause. And that's not just a failure of leadership, that's negligence. It's not patriotism, it's cruelty. It's not leadership, it's bullying. And the Marines, we're taught to stand up to bullying.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a real shame as a Marine. It's hard to see one of my brothers suffering like that. But he brings up a very good point, which is that the kind of trauma that's happening right now across our country for millions and millions and millions of people who are losing their jobs just like that and are faced with a shock that they may not be able to pay their mortgage, that their house may get foreclosed on, that their kids might not be getting the same kind of meals that they're used to, that they might have to decide which bills to pay or not, or if they have to move back in with their parents. All these things cause trauma. All these things scar people. And not just that, but it just, if you thought that people didn't trust the government before this, oh, my friends, we are entering a new age of paranoia and distrust in the government. Do not ask us to trust you for anything. Anything at all. Everything needs to be scrutinized and questioned now. Anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They can say that the sky is blue, and even the most rational, educated person at this point is justified to ask for evidence. Absolutely justified. There's no way. I mean, you've just ruined the trust for generations. It's gone. But anyway, we're veering off topic. We're talking about jobs. These corporations, they don't care about you. Everybody, support local business because it's getting shut down. Do what you can for people. Reach out to people. If they've lost their jobs, if it looks like they're losing their jobs, reach out to them and help. Because my God, we're all in this together. We're all in this together. Big Daddy government isn't coming to save anybody at this point. So we really, at this point, it's never been like this. We're moving towards a new Great Depression. That's what this is. when the Fed comes out and starts mentioning that stagflation is a very real possibility at this point, we're heading somewhere real dark. It's going to get real bad. The layoffs are horrible now. Guess what? These businesses are going to be shuttering. The impact from the supply lines abroad getting cut hasn't really even impacted us yet. That's coming in the next couple of weeks. And that's a long, protracted event as negotiations happening. So we're talking about months and months through the summer season into the fall, maybe beyond that, where the American economy is just going to slowly bleed out. That's reality. Gloom and doom it is today, boys. Doom and gloom it is. So hey, keep your head up. Keep your head up and try not to get fired. I don't know. OnlyFans is there. YouTube is there. I mean, just anything that you can do to have a side hustle at this point in all reality is just not a bad idea. And keep in mind that if you are getting let go, it's best to start applying now. Even if you have some money and you're like, we're going to wait a little bit. Maybe I'll look at this a different way and I'll treat it like a vacation, right? The amount of job competition out there is going to be severe. And a lot of people are going to have a very hard time finding employment, especially if it's related to the field that they were just in, because like I said, there's a lot of competition out there right now, and that's only going to increase. So even if you think you are comfortable, just go ahead, get the resume ready, and look and see what's out there. Maybe go ahead and talk to some employers and be like, hey, it looks pretty unstable where we're at right now. Do you have any employment options? I, as a favorable candidate who's been at my company for so long, it could be a valuable asset to you. And well, yeah, jumping into another wage job sucks, but hey, we've got to keep our heads above water. We've got to. So anyway, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe. Right? Do this stuff daily at this point. Thanks for the support as always. Hey, think about becoming a member. We have memberships now. And yeah, we appreciate you. And we're going into the weekend, so I hope you guys have a good one. Don't drink too much. All right, have a barbecue. Throw some chicken on the grill. And for all my Australian viewers out there, which, hey, that's a surprise. Drink a VB for me because, number one, it's a shitty, great beer. And number two, Australia has always been like my spirit country, I feel like. I feel like I would have done well if I was raised in Australia. Besides all that, everybody, have a great day. Have a good weekend. Take care. That's a surprise. Drink a VB for me because number one, it's a shitty great beer, and number two, Australia's always been like my spirit country. I feel like I would have done well if I was raised in Australia. Besides all that, so everybody, have a great day, have a good weekend, take care.
que se haga, que mande. Arriba de Maricabre, y él es el que manda aquí. Así no es yo el que manda. El mismo de que le decimos el código ahí. Él es el que manda aquí. Y no lo barras así. Que la prima del bar es plomo todo.